It's expensive to be made.
Welcome to Bravo's Moms Unfiltered, the podcast where real moms spill the tea on all the things Bravo and the chaos of everyday life.
We're your hosts, Allie and Crystal, two Bravo-assessed moms who aren't afraid to say what everyone's thinking completely unfiltered.
From housewives drama to mom life meltdowns, we're here to break it all down with humor, honesty, and maybe a little bit of bitching.
So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for some unfiltered fun. Welcome back, Bravo moms. We'll get started with, you want to do Mcbees?
Yeah,
episode 8.
We're doing episode 8.
Yes, because the next one's the final.
Okay, yeah. And it starts off from the last episode where they get back from their trip with seeing their dad and they were all drunk and stuff, and then they get back home and Stephen Jr. goes to coffee with his mom, and his mom was upset because she didn't know that the dad was going to be there. Like, Stephen Jr. was like, mom was more like, your other two brothers are not single, they can't party like you, they can't be acting like they're single. And then Steve was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Just sit at home and stare at the walls, or some, sassy ass thing that you would say to your mom. And she was like, I'm out of here. You're not going to disrespect me like that. Yeah. And so this episode, it starts him off. He's apologizing to his mom. And he was like, I was reflecting my energy towards you because my brothers went home to their wives and I went home to my dogs. So he was kind of like, my aggression shouldn't have been towards you. I apologize. He was like, I miss Cal. And he said he confesses to his mom that he misses Cal, and Cal was a getaway. When he started dating her, she was a way that I felt away from the farm. Like, she would help me get that sense of stress relief from the farm. And so he admits to his mom, like, that is why she means so much to me. That is kind of why, like, we go back and forth. We have such a rocky relationship and all this stuff. Is the true meaning of it is, because the farm is so stressful, she helped relieve that stress, which I completely understand. And that was him being honest, and I liked his honesty. So I think that was a good heartfelt apology, not like some fake apology. And then his mom, after listening to him, she still thinks that he should date around. She was like, I think you need to date around. I don't think Cal is the right girl for you. Basically. So I was like, ouch. Yeah. Even after what he said. So, and then it goes on to.
I agree with her though. I think that they're not good together. They're so toxic.
Yeah, they're so toxic. I think is because, like, we don't know all of her baggage on her side of the family. We just know his side of the family.
Yeah.
And, being an outsider looking in, like, I feel for Cal. It's a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I feel like I've been that outsider girl when I had my first husband, and him and his family, that's all they knew is how to farm. Lived on a farm. Ate, drank, slept, drove trailers for hours, days, weeks. While the women were home, they were gone for months out of a time, summer and winter and fall, harvest season. So they didn't see their husbands for months because they would, after farming, they would load the trucks up and they would also do the driving. It's not a great life as a wife to be a farmer's wife. It's not fun. Jesse and Allie, they show Jesse and Allie have been together since high school, since they were 18. It was cute to see their pictures up and show, like, how they were so young and then how they are now, and they're all grown up and have to be responsible. Jesse and Allie take a look at the wedding venue, which I thought was really pretty. I love that farm style. It is one of the top wedding venues that people like as their theme. And Jesse keeps making it in his confessions. He keeps saying, this is what Allie's parents want. This is her side of the family. I'm doing it for her. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm yawning. And I'm like, your mom would want this too. Like, your mom definitely wants this wedding. Yeah. So I think it's just a guy's point of view. Like, he does not care, which they don't. He does not care. We all know it. We all understand it. Allie's mom, during the walkthrough venue, they, like, argue about how many years it took for
Yeah.
him to
To
propose and get
propose.
married. And so they're confused. He says 10 years, she says 12 years. It was kind of like an awkward moment where she's
Yeah.
rolling his eyes. And then they zoom in on Allie's mom. Did you see that part? They zoom in on
Never.
Allie's mom, and Allie's mom gives him a death stare. Like looking at Jesse, like, I'm embarrassed for you
Yeah.
that you don't
Yeah.
know how many years. And I was like, ouch. Then they head to Cole and Casey. They're sitting on the couch and they're talking about Allie and Jesse and how they're
Mhm.
going through marriage and all the stages. And Cole puts his foot in his mouth again as they're sitting on the couch. And Cole says, "We're getting married on the farm and I'm going to post all the invites on Facebook." And I'm just like, please leave now, Casey.
Yeah.
Just walk out. Give him the key back to that house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if he did, like, I know he's trying to be funny, but I hope he's
Yeah.
trying to be funny and not serious.
Well, I'm also glad that Casey doesn't just want to marry him because they have a child. Like, I'm glad
Right.
she's waiting. You know what I mean? I still don't think they're married, which
Yeah.
is fine. But I'm
I
glad
don't
that
think they're
they're not
married.
doing that, even though Christy wants them to. I don't think they should right now because he is still very immature for
Oh,
26 or however old he is. So,
completely. Completely. Well, he's the baby,
yeah.
so I think he will always be that way.
Yeah.
They swing back to Jesse at the wedding venue, and the wedding planner asks Jesse what's stressing him out, and he points to Allie.
Mm-mm.
I drop. I drop to the floor. I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna murder you.
Yeah.
Not her,
I
her
would have
mother.
murdered
Her
him.
mother's
Yeah.
gonna murder you. Then they swing to Cole and mom. They go to lunch. They have a sit down about the baby because they're having a baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's excited that Cole's gonna be a girl dad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Cole and Casey's new house being built is really freaking amazing. It's
Yeah.
huge. And I'm like, why are you showing this on TV? You owe a bunch of
Learn.
money to the banks and
Yeah.
lenders,
Well,
and then all three of you have like these awesome
yeah.
houses and stuff. So it's
Learn
crazy.
from past housewives. You don't want to get robbed.
I know you don't want
So
to.
don't
I don't
show
think
it.
they'll get robbed in the farm.
Hopefully
They'll
not.
shoot first and ask
Yeah,
questions
that's true.
later.
That's true.
Mom wants him to marry Casey and they go ring shopping. So that was interesting. Steve and Cal meet up and Steve says Cal is his best friend basically
I
on
believe that.
Confessions.
I think I could see them, even if they don't continue dating, I can see them still being friends
Yeah.
and making it hard for whoever he dates next, whoever she dates next.
Yeah, I believe that too. Yeah, this is where Cole and Casey have a bonfire. Oh, my other notes. Steve asked Cal to go to the wedding, and
Hmm.
Cal is still up in the air. I don't think she should go. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it would be awkward.
And I don't blame her for kind of debating if she should go because
Yeah.
obviously she wants to go for him and for Kate or for not Casey but for what's her face. But yeah, I don't think she should go either. I think it's too toxic, too much happening in the Ozarks that no, just let it be.
I feel bad. I feel bad. And I feel like they may lead it into Cal has a drinking problem and next season
Mm,
that she's going to go into rehab.
mm.
Or even, not even her, who's the other lady? The Russian.
Oh, Galena,
One
yeah,
of them will go into rehab next year.
yeah.
That's how they'll play it. Cole and Casey have a bonfire. He gives her the key to the new house, which I thought was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Casey had her head on straight at the bonfire and says, I don't want to get married because it's the next step, which is what Cole said is the next step. He word verbatim said the next steps would be to get married.
Yeah, he
And
did.
so, yeah, Casey was like, oh, that doesn't, basically that's not romantic. That's not going to be a yes for me.
Yeah,
Like, will you marry me? That's the next step. No,
yeah,
ma'am. No.
yeah, yeah.
Excuse me. Cole and Cal, they both are looking at the ground. Oh, so Cal goes to Steve Jr.'s house, unpacks or packs or something. But
Mm-hmm.
during that visit, Cole comes over and they both apologize to each other. But when
Mm-hmm.
Cole apologizes to Cal, Cal apologizes to Cole, but they're both looking down at the ground.
Yeah,
You notice their apology?
yeah,
She's like
yeah,
literally looking down at the ground. I was like, what is this? This looks forced. Okay, so yeah, Casey, their apology was just so scripted,
yeah.
and that just that just not gonna. sound like it's going to end well. They end up getting together at Top Golf, which I have talked to you about, recommending to go just shoot the golf balls and get some hits in. So they go to Top Golf, and Jesse and Allie are there, and they are shocked when they see Cal walk up with Steve. So yeah, then so they go. I don't know why they go golfing, but all the boys go golfing with all the women. Last but not least, the end of the episode. Cole admitting his relationship is not perfect, and he doesn't want to keep it a secret. What could it be? Could it be another baby? Living separately. He wants to post. No, this is Jesse. Jesse admitting his relationship is not perfect. He doesn't want to keep a secret. And I'm like in the back of my head, does he have another baby? Is he cheating on someone? Is another woman going to come out? Does he want to postpone the wedding? So that's the end of the episode.
So what I think it is, and I was listening to another podcast that recapped the Mcbees. I think Allie is pregnant at this time. Because if you look when she had their daughter, that doesn't line up with the timeline. Like it
Yeah.
adds up with them getting married. So I think she was like 2 to 3 months pregnant at this time. And that's why he's so freaked out. Not about marriage, but about her having their child. So I think that's what this whole thing is about.
Okay.
So
That could
I
be.
think I think it's more to that than just like marriage.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's see.
yeah.
Let's see what episode 9. Did you see? I know we have to catch up. Episode 9's coming up. All right. Well, then you want to kick it off with OC?
Yep, I'm gonna do 2 episodes here, so we're caught up. So
Okay.
so they are in New Orleans and they split up for the day and explore. Tamara is having a hard time in New Orleans because she was just there with Teddy. And that's when Teddy fell down the flight of stairs and then she found out she had a tumor. Tamara and Shannon talk, and Shannon is still really hurt about everything that happened last season. Tamara says she took a look at herself from last season and says she isn't drinking, and if she does, she only has one drink. So she's trying to work on herself. Jen says she doesn't feel the need to get married again, but if she does, it would be for the kids. I found that interesting. And Gina said she wants to do it and the kids would want her as well, which I think she would be better at getting married than Jen. They go to a dog parade to help promote rescue dogs, which I thought was really nice. And then they go to a voodoo doll shop. Shannon, Tamara, and Gretchen don't want to participate in making these dolls and having all this bad voodoo on them. So they end up leaving. And Shannon, Tamara, and Gretchen talk. And Shannon said that, I don't remember why, but they're talking about she was talking about Katie and what Katie did was illegal. And then Gretchen turns it around and goes, Shannon, what you did by getting a DUI was illegal. And I was like, well, I mean, that's very true that what she did was illegal. And then Tamara tells Gretchen that Katie says Gretchen told her she was roofied when they were doing the naked wasted party. And I thought that was interesting because why would Gretchen wait all these years to bring that up if she actually was roofied at that naked wasted party? Because it's been what, like 10 or so years since that party, right? So I thought that was interesting. Back to the voodoo part, I thought the whole voodoo doll part was interesting. So they dress the doll and they end up like choosing a name for it. And I feel like everyone named it after themselves. A couple people named it after their husbands. And this voodoo lady said they can redress it and basically feed it. So I guess it like feeds off energy in a way. I don't know. I've never had a voodoo doll, but I found that was interesting. And then when Gretchen, so back to Shannon, Tamara, and Gretchen. Gretchen is very upset and pissed about this whole thing that she heard from Tamara. And they get back to the room. Gretchen tells Katie what Tamara said, and Katie gets pissed, and Gretchen is starting to think that Tamara is starting lies again about this whole thing. They go to dinner, and Tamara pulls Gretchen aside and asks her if she wants to bring it up at dinner, and that's when she tells Tamara she already brought it up to Katie. So Tamara's pissed because she realizes that Gretchen is believing Katie over Tamara, which makes sense because Tamara and Gretchen don't have the best history. Katie ends up joining them while they're talking and says she didn't do it. Gretchen says she wants to move forward but doesn't know if she can because she doesn't know if Tamara started all this. And then the group starts to gang up on Tamara saying she's not acting like herself and she seems kind of out of it. And that's when Gina's like, I know exactly what she did. I know she took a Xanax and is drinking, and that's what it is. So Gina calls her out while they're sitting there. And Tamara gets up, leaves the table, and says she wants to go home. Production asks her if she's okay, and she said, I just want to go home. That's when Gina says, I know exactly what she did. She took a Xanax and had a drink. And then they see her Instagram post, which we've talked about it here before, where it says it was a long run. When life gives you real problems, the reality shit doesn't make sense. Peace out, I'm done. And then it ends with her calling Eddie, asking him to book her a flight out of New Orleans. So I remember when that post came through and we're like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" So that was episode 6, episode 7. They're all back home and all the housewives are telling their husbands what happened. Or no, they're all still in New Orleans. And they're telling their husbands what happened with Tamra and they don't know where she is. Gina says she's called the journalist and verified everything Tamra said that she heard about Katie saying to this journalist. They all leave to go see like gators or alligators, something like that. Shannon is 20 minutes late and she's such a hot mess. She's in the car like trying to do her lashes as they're going. I'm like, you're such a hot mess, Shannon. Shannon finally makes it to this airboat and they're literally about to take off and then they wait. Gina just kind of like lets Shannon has it and goes, I have a lot of anxiety. I forgot Gina does not like water. So she's already like has a lot of anxiety because of this. And Shannon is late. And then Shannon makes this all about her saying like, I need my jacket, whatever, and doesn't really even apologize. So they go on this airboat and see alligators. I've never been on one of those, but it seems interesting. Seems like they had fun. So they all go back, relax, and then they go out to dinner and have oysters. And then Heather gets upset because Emily keeps copying her and like mocking her. And she said it's beginning to be too much. And then meanwhile, Gina is in the background, literally choking on an oyster. While Heather and Emily are talking, Gina's in the back like like that. They don't even notice. I just found that kind of funny. So they sit down for dinner. Gina tells the group she reached out to the journalist and they confirmed everything. Jen calls out Katie and says, "Why don't you call Kiki and get the truth?" Which, yeah, I don't get why Katie doesn't do this. Like, just prove to them that you're telling the truth, and she won't. Gina says she doesn't believe Katie about how she says she hasn't talked to the journalist. Back in the OC, Tamara talks to her psychiatrist. She says she felt like it was going well until she confronted Gretchen and she called Teddy before going to dinner, so she was a mess. And she took half a Xanax and had 2 drinks. So Gina was right about that. She said no one called her after she left. And it's hard for her to get close to someone after her daughter left her and choosing her ex-husband's side and all of this. And then we go to Emily and just watching Emily deal with Luke, her son that has this eating disorder and autism. It's just so hard, but I like that she shows it because it's also very real. And I feel like they need to show more of this on Housewives, not just all about the glam, but about like what the housewives actually deal with their kids. And then I don't remember who talks about this, but they talk about how Gretchen is changing her story because she says she went to the hospital in the car, and then in her confessional, she says she did not go at all. So I'm kind of confused as to what happened here and why she's changing her story now about the whole like getting naked wasted, getting roofied, and then her going to the hospital. So that's interesting because they literally play that clip. So I'm like,
That
what is
she's
the truth there?
lying.
Yeah, that she is lying.
I don't understand it. And
I
I
don't either.
just don't really understand what is the big deal.
Yeah,
I
about
mean,
this whole thing.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a big deal if it happened, but why bring it up now after all these years when she could have brought it up? So
Well,
that's what
it's a big thing because Bravo filmed that episode
they did.
during
Yes.
Bravo. So
Yep.
that means that Bravo production would have known
Yep.
that they roofied her
hmm
and did
hmm
nothing.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
again, it's not Tamra that they're attacking or that they're trying to save Bravo, the production team as well. So you
Yeah.
think Gretchen is trying to save her ass.
Yeah, she could be. So it ends with Heather and Tamara meeting up. Heather checking up on her. And Tamara said that Heather didn't reach out to her when Heather was like, I did reach out to you. I texted you, and I think she said she might have called her too. And Heather's really trying to be there for her, and Tamara's making it super hard. So then I just wrote, so who is telling the truth at the end? Is it Gretchen, Katie, or Jen? Because the stories are not adding up here. So yeah, that was an interesting episode. So hopefully we get more in the next episode. We could do Miami.
All right, Miami episode 12 starts right off the bat with Jody text messages and how he's slamming her how he's slamming Larsa to get over the fight and be done with it. During the dinner, Adriana is sticking up for Larsa and says, let's talk about it tomorrow. She's dealing with legal matters, which I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
And then, Lisa is on the phone with Jody. And Jody is helping Lisa get a notary, a virtual notary, and so she has him on speaker. And you can tell Jody's trying to be helpful and stuff like that. But then Gertie is in the background, and he interrupts, and she's like, "Hey, try to stop texting Larsa. It's looking bad on you." And so they shoot back to Larsa. Larsa snaps on Adriana for crying and sticking up for Lisa. Lisa comes back and gets in front of Larsa's face and said, "What is your problem? Now I can have my full attention on you." And then Larsa goes, "Your boyfriend texting me." So it's like a new thing for Larsa.
Yeah.
I don't think Larsa can get her why she hates Lisa, and her storyline's fading, kind of like she's fading out, because that's the only person she's arguing with. She's not arguing with anybody else. She has no storyline. Her boyfriend's gone. Last year it was all about her and her man.
Yep.
Which was weird because he was weird.
Yeah.
And this season, all it is her fighting over Lisa for not deleting him or unfriending him on social media, which is stupid. That's your whole storyline.
That's her whole storyline. Yeah.
That's your whole storyline. Your other storyline was your son did a runway show. That was it.
Because you didn't want to do it.
So that was it. And then all the ladies say it's a bad taste for friends to take notes on each other, which is what Lisa is doing, because she's like, I have to. I have to take notes, because now it's there's too much bickering back and forth. You can't even tell the truth from a lie, which, I mean, it's good. Don't do it in front of your friends, though.
But I'm glad she explained it, though, about how she needs to for court stuff, so she just kind of does it. So I think if she I think if she explained why, it would have made more sense. But if I were just to start to take notes while we're doing this, you'd be like, why are you doing that? It's just weird. No one does that.
Yeah, I get that perspective. If she's been going through these legal battles and stuff, it's probably Jody telling her, take all the notes.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom and take notes.
Yeah, where people can't see you.
Excuse yourself. But if you're sitting at the table texting,
just going
it's
that.
Looks bad. Nobody's gonna want to talk to you. I mean, you might as well have a recorder.
Yeah, exactly.
During their fight, Larsa calls out Lisa had a yeast infection recently.
I missed that.
Was weird that she randomly yelled that out.
Yeah.
And Stephanie was like, so yeah. And then all the ladies say, yeah, it's a bad taste. Lisa says she's not friends with Larsa. Larsa calls out her yeast infection.
Yeah.
The next morning, the ladies split, and some go see the Spanish tiles in Spain. It's called a ceramic factory. I thought that would be fun.
Yeah.
The other half go walk through the city. The ladies at the ceramic, they talk about inviting Lisa to a dinner with Julia, the whole soon-to-be godfather. I guess Julia has a really close friends, and they're inviting him basically to this huge house. Adriana knows her history and traveled all over the place, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She studied art and history and is basically like a tourist for everybody. Marisol and Julie have a sit down with Lisa and tell her what the plan is on taking Stephanie's private plane, and that everybody will be putting their phone in a basket. She didn't like that. She basically said F off and left.
Yeah.
She later then calls Marisol and says, I'm coming to dinner. I'm not going to do this with you guys, but I'm also not going to run away. If you have a problem with me, then you can leave the table. So Lisa is going to dinner. She's obviously late for dinner, and that is on purpose. She's always late because she does not care what the ladies say. If they all tell her one thing, she's going to do the opposite.
Exactly.
Sounds childish, but I think she has a point. Leave her the F alone. Just leave her alone. There's no need to fight with Lisa. I think they're mad at her because at the end of the day, she married a wealthy man, got everything, and she's going through a divorce, but yet, you know how some divorced women go through it? Like they gain weight or,
Yeah.
they look thin
Yeah.
or, they're just very down and depressed. With Lisa, you cannot tell one bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
maybe it's the
can.
Botox or the fillers.
Yeah.
You can't tell that she ever struggled,
Yeah.
with like, where am I going to take my children to daycare? Or who's going to watch my kids?
Yeah.
And
It
all that
hasn't
other
been an
stuff.
issue for her.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of like people hate that because we want to see you struggle. We
A
want,
little
because
bit.
it's natural
Yeah.
and you don't let those emotions out. You don't like, I mean, I guess you do. We have seen you cry because Lenny's an a-hole.
Yeah. But that's really about it.
Right. So I think they kind of get mad
Yeah.
at her for
Yeah.
that, for being self-centered a little bit. Like it didn't teach her a lesson.
Yeah,
I don't know if
exactly.
it's supposed to teach her a lesson, but they go, I'm getting mixed up. So she's late for dinner, and then Alexia tells the ladies in the car ride to dinner she was engaged to a guy whose grandfather was the CEO of Pepsi Cola.
Oh, she
Which
missed
was
out so much
interesting.
on that.
Yeah, she missed out. They all go to dinner, and Adriana spills the beans that Lisa has unfollowed Marcus.
Oh yeah.
And I guess it's like a big deal. Like even when they were sitting outside, I guess she was part of the group with the walk downtown.
Yeah.
And they made a pact. They all pinky promise not to tell Larsa. And that's the first thing that Adriana sits down and tells.
But I don't get why. Like, what's the big deal? Is it just
I
something she
get
just wants to like hold over Larsa and just like continue being like, I won't
I think
unfollow
it
him?
was like a point where like let's not tell her. And if she keeps fighting over the same thing, it's obviously bigger than unfollowing
Then
Marcus.
them. Yeah.
Like it's making it seem like you're just making shit up to be mad at me,
Yeah.
to have a storyline. Adriana calls Kiki Ratchet,
Yeah.
and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Kiki starts yelling. She has an accent, obviously. So they get into it, and then everybody gets mad because, like, it
Yeah.
got bad yelling and screaming. And she definitely said it out of context, I think, if
I
that
think
was the
so.
word
Yeah.
she said.
Yeah.
Adriana kicks and says, I'm old and need to take care of your kids to Kiki. Basically saying, like, why are you here? You need to be at home with your children instead of your mom. Kiki's yelling. Stephanie gets up and says, I'm not doing this again. I can't. It's third dinner. Some of the ladies leave and said, this is embarrassing. Stephanie starts crying in the car, in the Sprinter van. It was really weird. Then
Yeah, I didn't
Alexia,
really understand
Marisol,
the whole thing.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they all, Marisol, Alexia, and Lisa, they all go and Steph go back to the hotel and they sit at the front and they start drawing a map of her stupid
For
plane.
playing, yeah.
I can't get over this weird edited part where they're sitting down and it gets weird. She's drawing a map, a seating chart. It's like an 8-person charter plane. And you're making a seating chart. She's trying to say that she's going to put Adriana in like a
In the
by
back or something like
herself
that.
in
Yeah.
the back or something. I was just like, Stephanie, we know that you're rich. We
Yeah.
know that you need to hang out with people in your money bracket,
Bracket.
by heaven's means, or your husband's bracket,
Yeah.
which would be old. But it was unnecessary. It was awkward. Marisol and Alexia got annoyed because that's all
Yeah.
she was talking about.
She just likes to hang this over everyone's head, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, we get
It
it, you're
was like
rich. We get it, you have a plane. Like, you don't need to hang it over their heads
and
like
then
that.
this whole like plane etiquette.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She said she wanted to send everyone that. Because Larsa's like, let's put this in the group chat. She goes, no, I have plane etiquette. Like, don't wear zippers and stuff like that. I'm going to be like, I'm not riding on your plane. I'll just meet you there. Sounds like too many rules.
I was like, oh my God, are these your rules or are these your husband rules?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like your husband made you a list of rules for you to ride on his private jet. And if anything happens, you're not allowed on any more flights.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was awkward. Alexia Marisol got awkward. I don't think it was necessary. I think it was unnecessary filming. But it made me like rethink, like, I don't want to hang out with rich people. Like,
I
that's
also I
not.
also don't
what I
I
want.
also don't get how we got, well, how the fight started, but how we got from the fight to this. Like, I don't know if it was editing, but things like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, because it went from Kiki and Adriana fighting about being called Ratchet, and then it got from Stephanie crying because she's embarrassed
Yeah, yeah.
to who's gonna sit on her plane.
Plane. Yeah. It's a plane etiquette.
So,
Like,
yeah, I
it
just
was
like
real
this is
bizarre.
stupid. She's not gonna be back next year, I don't think.
She doesn't really add anything besides how many times does she say that she's rich and has a plane? Like every time she says
Yeah,
that, I feel like I should like take a shot or something because she talks about it so much.
girl, Bravo will find out. They will
Yeah.
find out the story.
Yeah.
You're not perfect, because that's not why Bravo hired you on the
No.
show. So weird. Anyways, all right. So carry on to which one are we going
Below
to? That
deck,
was
just
the
a short
end.
little recap.
Okay.
So the yacht gets stuck at the dock due to a broken station wing controller. So they're literally like stuck at this dock. They cannot move. And the chef is under pressure because he has like a vegan, pescatarian, along with an anniversary dinner. So he's a lot on his plate that he's dealing with. And he kind of loses his temper when he just asks the crew to do a simple thing by taking out the trash and they don't. Fraser, the chief stew, is trying to make these guests have an enjoyable trip as much as they can while being on the dock. And no one is really helping him, so he kind of improvises by organizing like a champagne cruise with the water toys while they're delayed. Salone steps up and helps across all departments, doing stuff like handling the trash when others won't do that. The guests leave a 19,000 tip, which is very, very low. It's about 31% low, or 31%, yeah, it's 19,000 tip. $19,000 tip, and they talk to the captain at one point, basically saying like, "Hey, we're gonna leave a low tip because, or we're thinking about leaving a low tip because we can't leave the charter. What do you think about that?" And Captain Carey was basically like, "No, that's not right. Like we're doing all we can. This is not the fault of the crew." And he tells them right then and there that they need to leave a higher tip, like tip what you would. And he said, "Okay, I'll talk to everyone about it." But yeah, they did not leave a high tip. And I feel like that's kind of bad because they're doing all
Why
they can
couldn't they
do.
leave the charter? Because of the weather?
No, there's something wrong with the boat. There was a broken wing station and they were waiting for a part and it didn't come in the next day. And so Captain Carey told the guy when he was asking about the tip, he said, "I understand like this sucks and it's out of our control. Like we're doing the best we can to make this trip good for you." And he said to talk to whoever like they booked this trip through. So it must be like not like Airbnb, but something like Airbnb, like a company like that they book through for this. So he was like talk to them about like getting a refund or something like that, and I've mentioned to them, Captain Carey said. But yeah, they leave a very low tip, and I felt like that was kind of shitty. Because I mean, it's not anyone's fault. It was just a very shitty circumstance.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was basically the gist of that. I listened to Bravo Docket on the Mcbees, and I found this really interesting. So just some tea on the financials, and I learned a little bit about Kala and all of this too. So Christy's dad owns a well-known company in Kansas City. So she came for money and has a trust. So when she met Steve McBee, I think when they started the farm, that Christy's dad loaned them the money for the farm because he owns a really well-known company. Christy's company that she started, Lantel, she owns about 62% of that, and it's a communication and concrete business. During their divorce with Steve Sr., he was using their marital money to purchase homes for Galena and her daughter. So this was during like their divorce. He was using both of their monies to purchase homes for them. Steve Sr. was writing bad checks from Christie's business that she owns. So again, during the divorce, he was doing this. He was also hiding assets and money from her during their divorce as well. At one point, Christy said she took a check and put it into a different account so that he could not touch this money. And when it was brought up during the court, she told the judge, "I have the account, it's right here. I just don't want him to touch this money because of all the other stuff that he was doing during their divorce." Christy is now seeing a businessman that she works with, and I guess was Steve's friend, and he's in a very high level position. So I thought that was interesting and good for her that she's moved on. Steve Sr. has to pay Christy $500,000 with interest in 10 annual installments. So that was also interesting. That was part of their divorce, that he has to do that. He also got all the debt when they divorced, and she got to keep her trust, which is great for her because he does not deserve that. And also in their divorce, she got custody of their youngest son, Braden, and gets to make all financial decisions for him. So I'm kind of wondering if that's why Braden is not shown on Mcbees. Is
He lived a
because,
different life. He didn't live
well,
the
and
farm
because
life.
Chrissy doesn't want him to, and doesn't want him to be a part of the show. And then they talk about Kala. So evidently, Kala's brother and dad have been to federal prison. Her brother, Tanner Jackson, went to federal prison. He sold military gear and sold it to the military, and was told the military, whoever bought it, that it was military grade and up to their standards. In reality, it wasn't made here. It was made in China. So because of that, it was not up to standards and could be very harmful, because who knows what the Chinese were doing with it. So he got in trouble for that and was put into jail. I don't know for how many years, but I thought that was interesting because we don't really know much about Kala, like you said. So that was interesting. So I wonder if that's why. I wonder if that's also why she can relate so much to Steve Jr., because she's had two family members go to jail, and because Steve Sr. is currently awaiting trial, which I believe should happen sometime in September. So she can relate to him with that. And that's kind of why they're close, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Oh, and also, the Bravo docket was saying that when they were on Joe Millionaire, they think that Kala knew that Steve had money. Because I guess she came up to him. I've never watched this Joe Millionaire episode, but I guess she came up to him and said her dad or someone owns a cattle farm in Texas. So I think she knew who he was and was trying to relate to him and knew that he had money. So I thought that was also interesting. So yeah, all interesting stuff that I learned there. Bravo News. Tamara Judge recently celebrated Alexis Bellino and John Jansen's bridal shower. Also there was Galena and Joe. And I also heard on another podcast that Galena is like prancing around town with a bunch of housewives. So she's kind of transitioned to the Bravo celebrity with becoming friends with housewives. Other Bravo news, I don't really know if it's news, but I thought it was cute that Isabella, Michelle, and Jesse's daughter started kindergarten, and they posted a picture both supporting their daughter and celebrating her big day amidst their divorce. So I thought that was nice. Paige was spotted filming on the set of The Devil Wears Prada 2 in New York. I love The Devil Wears Prada, so I'm very excited if she happens to make a cameo or make a bigger appearance in that. And then the only Bravo news I had was that the Beverly Hills housewives were spotted filming in Florence, Italy. That's all I have. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
have
saw that.
any. So, see if I can find anything else.
The only thing I have is Cole recently posting on social media. Did you see his post?
No, but I heard there was
Did
some
I
like
send it
beef
to you?
going on.
Yeah, there's a beef he sent. He's posted, "Hey Cal, since you won't answer my phone calls, I'm coming down tomorrow to get our car back. You're driving, and I'm also kicking you out of my mom's apartment. You want to keep talking shit? I'm done. Fuck you. BITCH. See you tomorrow." Sorry, I said the F word.
So that means
That
that
was the only news.
their mom is still paying for her apartment then.
Well, she's a
Interesting.
co-signer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she's still in the apartment. That's interesting.
She's still in the apartment. She's still in the apartment, but you don't. She's a co-signer. You can't. I don't know if you know how things work, Cole, but you can't
Yeah.
kick someone out of an apartment if their name's on the apartment.
Yeah.
Your mom can stop making payments.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You can't kick her out of the apartment. So.
Yeah. I did see that, was it Potomac that Mo Omansky does like a cameo on Potomac. Did you see that? I saw a clip that he says like "Hi Gazelle" or something like that. Is that Potomac?
Giselle.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Below Deck
Let's
Mediterranean
see.
starts at the end of September. I love Mediterranean.
haven't
Salt Lake
watched
City is
Mediterranean.
coming back too in a couple weeks.
And that's a wrap on the episode of Bravo's Moms Unfiltered. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did spilling the tea. Because let's be real, moms need unfiltered moments too.
Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you love today's chat, leave us a review. It will help other Bravo loving moms find us.
Yes, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, what else?
Amazon Music.
Amazon. And then also Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, like us,
That's
star
it.
us, give us your opinion, please, please, please.
Yeah. Yes. Until next time, keep the wine chilled, the drama on TV, and the mom life real.
See you next week, Bravo Moms.
I'm reckless, offensive. I destroy your defenses. My guest list is priceless, and yes, I run a tight ship. With